It is already that time of the year again. It is 6th Ranger season here in Super Sentai. So we already have our 6th Ranger design, character, toys, all of that stuff for Osama Sentai King-Ohger. They knocked it out of the park. It looks so good. So we have a lot to talk about here today, but not just 6th Ranger stuff, but the return of toy catalogs. So we haven't had a toy catalog leak for like 4 years. I'm pretty sure the last time we got one for Sentai was like the end of the Resoldier toy line. So that's some pretty big news here. We have a lot of leaks and a lot of official stuff to talk about here today. So let's go and get right on into it. So just letting everybody know here, all the 6th Ranger stuff has been officially revealed by Toei. It's been officially in the Telebi-kun magazine. It's been officially like shown on the Bandai website and on like all the official Twitter accounts and everything. So all of that, I say, is fair game. It's still technically spoilers for the show, of course, but once we get into the actual toy catalog listings or the toy catalog picture leaks from the third quarter stuff, that's when I'll put a little spoiler warning up and like a time code and stuff if you don't want to see any of that. But 6th Ranger stuff is finally happening, so we've had listings for this stuff for a very long time. We knew from the toy listings that we were going to be getting a White Ranger that was going to be spider themed, and that we were going to have all this stuff released in like May and stuff like that. And I talked about this in one of my Patreon exclusive live streams that I clipped into its like own little video last month. But now we finally have pictures of all of this stuff, we have names for all of this stuff. So here it is, the 6th Ranger of Osama Sentai King-Ohger, Spider-Kumonos. Oh my god. So, like, look at this suit. Let's all just take a second. I'm just gonna not talk for like 3 seconds. Let's just look at the suit. Isn't that so good? So it looks so good. It looks so good. I love the gold accents on it, which we saw from the listings. They said there was going to be some like gold armor aspects to it, and that is definitely present here. The helmet looks exactly like I expected it to be, or it's just a spider, you know, the same kind of vein as the King-Ohger designs. It's like a perfect 6th Ranger suit in my opinion. I think white 6th Rangers always look pretty good. We haven't had one in nearly 20 years. The last time we had one was Deca Break back in Deca Ranger. Spider-Kumonos is going to be debuting in the 11th episode of King-Ohger, so the 9th one is the one that just aired this past weekend at the time of this video, so we're only a couple weeks away from seeing him, although I believe that's going to make it about a week before the toys come out, because we have at least 4 toys for him right off the bat in May. That's not all the stuff he's going to be getting, because of course we're going to have his mecha and everything like that to be released in June, so we don't quite have pictures or anything like that of that yet. So we have a terribly, really bad leak quality version of what his mecha looks like, and we'll get to that, but we don't actually have like nice pictures of it or anything like that just yet. So the magazine scans show just this beautiful suit in action with his changer and with his blaster, and just, oh, it looks so good. And then perfect timing for this video is that this past weekend, after the 9th episode aired, they did reveal his actor and the character. So the character is going to be Jeremy Brazier, or Brazery, or whatever like that. The name will be up on screen. Jeremy, that's the easy way to just say it. That's just the character's name. Really, really cool, though, is that usually 6th Rangers are typically brand new characters, you know, characters we haven't seen in the show yet until their debut. And that's still technically the case here with Jeremy. However, he's being portrayed by the person who's been the narrator, so every time that the intro has started and it's like, you know, that's him. So that's really, really, really cool. Pretty par for the course for 6th Rangers. He's going to be sort of a neutral party. He's not necessarily going to join the King-Ohgers right away. He's not a bad guy per se. Basically, he just kind of plays neutral, and then he'll kind of help either party really whenever he sees fit, essentially. So I think that's pretty standard for a 6th Ranger, especially recently they don't technically join the team. I mean, last year we did have Dondor Goku, who was like kind of desperately trying to join the team, and they just kind of weren't really having it. But then you have, of course, like 2 Kaiser from 2 years ago, who never technically like officially joined the Zenkaijers. He like never joined on the roll calls and stuff until like post-series content. So it's always interesting. Sometimes 6th Rangers are relatively independent, and sometimes they're kind of just like a Kirame Silver, where they just jump right into the team and they're just, you know, part of it as if they've been there the whole time. It's always an interesting dynamic to see. But of course, Spider-Kumonos brings with him some brand new toys. So of course we have the Deluxe Kumono Slayer, which is going to be his changer. So like how the King-Ohgers have a full-on sword, he's going to kind of have like a dagger kind of thing. So where I was going to want to wait for Memorial Editions for the Ohger Caliber and the Ohger Caliber Zero, and I still want to wait for Memorial Editions of those because they'd be more accurate to the size of the show compared to the deluxe ones. Since Spider-Kumonos' changer, the Kumonos Changer, the Kumono Slayer, is already kind of a smaller dagger weapon anyway, this is actually going to probably be somewhat close to that. And we're going to talk about something very, very exciting to me personally about that in a second, but we'll get there. We also have his weapon, which is the Deluxe Venom Shooter, which I don't know the official name of what these are called, but this is supposed to be one of those, like, things that, like, beekeepers use that are full of, like, pesticide or, you know, or bug spray or whatever it's supposed to be. So he literally has, like, a weapon to fight insects with, like the other King-Ohgers, which is so wonderfully Toku. I love that. It's such a fun toy. I love the color scheme. I love how Spider-Kumonos has, like, a purple kind of theme to it, because I don't know why, this doesn't really make sense, but I kind of associate, like, the color purple with spider stuff. So we knew from the toy listings he was going to take keys, and the toy listings said he was going to have keys that were more Ryukendo type keys than Ranger keys. Those are Ranger keys. Like, I don't know for 100% certainty, of course, and we're gonna bring in a demonstration here. Like, this looks like the key piece of a key, down to, like, I guess on this side where there's, like, the kind of, like, divot, where it's kind of not circular, but, like, kind of a little circular divot there to fit into the Mabarts. It looks like he even has that. It just looks like, basically, if it was a key piece from Gokaiger, with, like, instead of it being kind of a more circular kind of key cut piece, it's like a square key cut piece. So, like, I'm looking at this and I see all these close-up shots and I'm like, I think Ranger keys could theoretically fit in those toys. Like, I could easily see it, and we know, and this might age the video because I actually kind of have a feeling like it's going to happen, but I think possibly we're going to finally get the announcement of that Ranger key set that they teased back in January with that silhouette of the King-Ohger key. So, my personal opinion was that they were waiting for the reveals of King-Ohger and Spider-Kumonos to be able to add them to the set. And so because of that, and Premium Bandai things usually happen on Sunday nights, I'm recording this on Sunday afternoon, and you're seeing this either on Monday, if there was no key set announcement last night, and you're seeing this on Tuesday, if there was a key announcement on Sunday night, because that's going to be Monday's video. So either this is Monday or Tuesday, and either keys happened or didn't happen, but I definitely think we're going to probably get a Spider-Kumonos key as a Ranger key pretty soon. But, like, if I wasn't already going to want this stuff based off how cool the suit was, you had to make them, like, pretty much literally Ranger keys that might even maybe be compatible. Watch them be, like, smaller or bigger or something, because it's kind of hard to tell from the pictures, but, like, just on first glance, I think that there could be some, like, accidental compatibility, and I'm very curious as to why. But speaking of the keys, there's going to be 3 keys that he has, one for transformation, one for his mecha, and then one for, like, a finisher attack, which the magazine scans show that this finisher will allow him to turn into some kind of weird, like, purple ooze or like some kind of purple like venom thing, or some kind of an attack, or I don't know. He'll probably barely ever use that, but basically the sword, I think it was the sword comes with 2 keys and the gun comes with 1 key, or it might be flipped the other way around. The 3 keys are split between the 2 toys. So both of these are going to be released on May 20th, which is actually my birthday weekend, so that's kind of fun. I will be buying these as a birthday gift to myself, and you will be able to get them separately or as a combo set, which is pretty typical for toys like this, so there is that. Now, also for Spider-Kumonos, of course, he's going to get an action hero figure release, which is going to come with both the gun and the sword for him. And then, of course, he's also going to get his typical Sentai Hero Series vinyl figure, so both of those are going to be also released on the same weekend, and I'm buying all of it. I'm buying all 4 of those things. For sure. So as of right now, all of these are available for pre-order on Amazon Japan. They are not up on HLJ yet, which is where I'm going to be getting mine. And that's also where I have an affiliate link for King-Ohger stuff. So in the description below, there will be a link to both Amazon Japan and HLJ. If you use the HLJ one, whenever they do put them up, that will help out the channel. So that's always appreciated. Or you could just get them from Amazon Japan. But that is all the toys and character information for Spider-Kumonos, which might already be one of my all-time favorite 6 Ranger suit designs. I think it looks really, really cool. And then finally for him, we don't have even an official name technically, or definitely not pictures of it, but his mecha is going to be a tarantula, because we actually already have spiders with the base regular combination of King-Ohger, so it's not going to be a spider mecha, even though he's definitely a spider ranger. So we have a really, really crappy photo quality of a leak for this thing from one of the toy catalogs, so that's what it's supposed to look like. Not that you could really make out anything about that at all. You can actually see it better in what we're now going to talk about for the rest of this video, which is all spoiler stuff, and that is the toy catalog leaks for the 3rd quarter. So we had toy listings a couple of weeks ago that said that the 3rd quarter of toys, and by the way, there should be already a thing on the screen right now, but there will be spoilers till this time, so if you don't want to see any of this yet, skip to the end of the video. But basically there was a toy listing for a power-up item, a power-up action figure for the item, and then a additional mecha that was going to just be the Kabuto Castle from the show, but in a mecha format, which I think we all pretty much guessed was going to happen. You look at that thing, and it's very clearly going to turn into a giant robot at some point, so that was really not any kind of surprise. What was a surprise, though, is that we actually got toy catalog leaks. So toy catalog leaks used to be the way that things happened. And instead of us just getting listings for the toys, we would get pictures of the toys, and we would see all this stuff months before we were supposed to see it. I don't know what happened here to why these leaks exist, and I kind of feel bad because the store's definitely going to get in trouble for this, but the pictures are out there, so I feel like they're fair game. So we have 2 pictures for 3 different pages of the third quarter catalog stuff, which backs up every single thing that the listings had said. It's just we get to see it now. So we have this brand new power-up item, which is going to be like this lance sword thing that's going to have like this little crown piece on it, and that will be kind of, you attach it to like this sword lance, and that will be a power-up for King-Ohger. Pretty typical for the Red Ranger to get a power-up and stuff like that, or the leader of the team to get a power-up. What is interesting though is that the little like Japanese blurbs over this, some of it somewhere mentions that you will also be able to use this, or it will also be able to be used by King-Ohger, so both Rakules and Gira will be able to use this, which makes perfect sense because this form like makes it a gold ranger instead of a red or a silver. And since their suits are the exact same besides color, when you just change the color for a power-up, it makes sense that both of them would just be able to use it. So I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work, if there's going to be 2 of them, if they're going to kind of have to be fighting over it, where only sometimes, you know, one of them is the power-up and the other times the other one is the power-up. So I think that's kind of an interesting dynamic. If they keep King-Ohger evil, which I hope that they do for at least a good amount of the show. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that that's what's happening. I hope that it's not just, a power-up that they share constantly. I hope it's more of a power-up that they kind of have to fight for. Before we get to the mecha, though, there is the Action Hero for this and the Sentai Hero Series vinyl for that. So those are going to both be out. I think all this stuff, I believe, is like September, October. So it's going to be a good amount of time from now. It's just, it feels so strange because like this is how things used to be. We got to see these toy catalog leaks all the time, and now I'm just been so used to just seeing listings for everything that it feels so far away, because even though we would have known about the listings for it, actually getting to see it already is just so crazy because it's just been so long since that's happened. But then we do have the next mecha, which is that Kabuto Castle turned into a full-on mecha, and I really like the look of this thing. It definitely gives me like Deca base vibes, where it's like, you know, the kind of the command center for, I'm still holding this Ranger key. It gives me Gosei Ultimate vibes of like the gold, not face, but like kind of the gold symbol on the chest. And there will be like this little Hercules beetle it's just sitting there, like a little mecha that's going to be kind of a part of this that kind of goes with the castle. So you have all of that. Now, they're going to be making more combinations, so there is another leak that happened that is like another page of this catalog that shows a full 20-piece mecha combination between the components of Legend King-Ohger, which is already like, I think that's like, is that 12? 13? 13, right? Yeah, it's a 13-piece mecha that we have in the show right now. And then you're going to add Spider-Kumonos' stuff, which is going to be, I think, its own combination before we even get to this, and then they're going to add to this. So we're going to have this weird, crazy 20-piece mecha, which technically, if you zoom in on it, gives us our sort of best look at Spider-Kumonos' mecha. You can sort of see the tarantula there. He's also going to get additional kind of extra weapons, just kind of like the chainery one, and the other one that we have, you know, like the extra mecha. He's going to have stuff like that for himself. He's going to have like this chainsaw centipede, and there's going to be like this locust thing, I think, as well. So like he's going to have additional mecha pieces. We're just not going to see any of that stuff until Jim. It's just kind of funny that we have this really terrible leak quality photo of just Spider-Kumonos' mecha on its own, but then we have this, not the greatest quality, but pretty decent quality picture of the combination with the mecha after that. So we have, like, kind of a look at the tarantula, which is not a great look at it. So lots of crazy stuff here. There was also even more toy listings out there, because the little Shoe God souls that they've been releasing as, like, Telebikun pack-in items, those are going to be getting a Gashapon set, so they're actually going to be kind of introducing that as sort of like a gimmick item for this show. But that's, I think, going to pretty much cover it here. A lot of news for King-Ohger this past week. This was the right time for us to see Spider-Kumonos or to see Six Ranger stuff, but I definitely did not think that we would see pictures of the third quarter stuff so soon after the toy listings. I love that toy catalogs are back. I don't think this is like a common thing. I don't think this is going to be a reoccurring thing. I think toy catalogs are still mostly a relic of the past. I just think that a store really got into some serious water here with this. So I really hope that everything is okay over on that front for how we got these pictures. I'm not sure how they even happened. They just popped up on Twitter, and everybody was talking about them, so figured, whatever. But that's going to do it here today. So, like I said, I absolutely love Spider-Kumonos' stuff. He's going to be debuting in episode 11 of the show, and his toys will be out on May 20th. So let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of Spider-Kumonos? How do you think it compares to other Six Ranger suit designs? What do you think of the idea that the character is the narrator that we've already heard on the show and that we hear in the intro every week, now being brought into the show as an actual character? What do you think of his toys? I am loving the show so far. You can check out a review I've done of the first 2 episodes, which was like 2 months ago, but the show has been very, very solid. I might do a follow-up episode or a follow-up video once he gets introduced to maybe kind of where we're at now so far. If anybody wants to see that, let me know down in the comments below. I love the show. It's a lot of fun. I can't wait for all this stuff, and I'm definitely going to be buying a lot of it. So next time, you guys can follow me on Twitter at LiveRangerKey or LenFigPR, and I'll see you all later. To wrap up this video, I'd like to thank my $5 and above patrons: Jurassic Samurai, Maggot Alchemist, Robert Browning, Static Thunder, Brendan Overland, Maji Yellow, Redstone MCPC, Comix1017, James Darty, John Luke, Eric Berry, Tyler Bezetsky, Matthew Thorne, Josh Landry, Pyramidas, CPT Tesla, Cross SCV, Caboose Ed, Socket Monsters, Anthony Love, Daniel Pika, and Hella Geo. You can support Toku Topics for as little as $1 a month on my Patreon, linked in the description below.